It was a night like any other in the restless heart of Los Angeles, neon lights flickering in the haze, horns echoing between glass towers, and people moving through the city's veins, heavy with the weariness of another workday. On one such night, Emily Parker stood swaying gently on the crowded bus, her hand wrapped tightly around a cold metal pole, her thoughts a tangled knot of deadlines, bills, and the dull ache of exhaustion. She was just another face in the crowd, another soul trying to make it home. As the bus rumbled to a stop at Wilshire Boulevard, the doors hissed open and a hush seemed to fall over the passengers. An elderly woman stepped on silver hair framing a gentle, lined face, her hands trembling as she gripped the rail. She scanned the packed bus, eyes searching, until they landed on Emily. Without hesitation, Emily straightened and offered her seat, managing a smile despite her fatigue. "Please, ma'am, take my seat," she said, her voice soft but sincere. The old woman's eyes lit up with a warmth that seemed to melt the city's chill. "Thank you, child," she replied, her words carrying a weight that settled gently around Emily's heart. As she eased herself into the seat, she reached into her weathered purse and drew out a small, leather-wrapped talisman. It was old, the edges worn smooth by time and careful hands. She pressed it into Emily's palm, her touch surprisingly strong. "Keep this close," she whispered, her voice low and urgent. "And tonight, if someone offers you water, don't drink it until you've dipped this inside." Emily blinked, caught off guard. "Excuse me," she asked, uncertain whether she'd misheard. But the old woman only smiled, a smile that held secrets and knowing, the kind that suggested she had seen more than most. "You'll understand soon," she said, before turning her gaze out the window, lost in the city lights. The moment lingered, heavy with mystery, as the bus rattled on. Emily tucked the talisman into her pocket, unsure whether to laugh off the encounter or carry its strangeness with her. That night, the city seemed to press in closer around her as she made her way home. The streets were familiar, but the edges felt sharper somehow, as if something unseen waited just beyond her line of sight. Unlocking the door to her small apartment, she was greeted by the warm glow of a lamp and the familiar scent of jasmine tea. Ryan, her husband, was waiting, his smile a shade too bright, his movements a touch hurried. "Rough day?" he asked, reaching for her coat. "Sit down. I'll get you some water." She nodded, dropping onto the couch, her legs suddenly heavy. She watched as Ryan filled a glass at the sink, his back tense, his shoulders hunched. He brought the glass to her, the water catching the light with a crystalline shimmer. Normally, she would have accepted it without a second thought. But tonight, the old woman's words echoed in her mind. "If someone offers you water, don't drink it until you've dipped this inside." Her fingers found the talisman in her pocket. It felt heavier now, as if it carried the weight of fate itself. Something about Ryan's smile, the way it didn't quite reach his eyes, sent a chill down her spine. With steady hands, she dipped the talisman into the glass, swirling it gently. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then, slowly, the clear water began to cloud, swirling into a faint blue mist. Emily's breath caught. This was no ordinary water. Ryan's eyes widened, his mask slipping for just an instant. "Why did you do that?" he snapped, his voice sharp and unfamiliar. Emily set the glass down, her voice trembling but strong. "What's in this water, Ryan?" He hesitated, his face draining of color. "It's nothing, just vitamins dissolved. You've been tired, that's all." But Emily's instincts screamed at her something was terribly wrong. She stood up, her heart pounding, and backed away from Ryan, clutching the talisman as though it were a shield. Without another word, she rushed out the door, her feet carrying her down the hall to her neighbor's apartment. She barely managed to explain before the police arrived, their questions swirling around her like a storm. They tested the glass, and the results sent a shudder through the room. Traces of sleeping pills, more than enough to render someone unconscious. Suddenly, the pieces fell into place. Ryan's late-night phone calls, the unexplained withdrawals from their joint account, the whispers she'd overheard but brushed aside. Ryan's secret unraveled under the harsh floor.